During the past few years, the renewable energy industry has been at the forefront in the quest for net zero carbon emission. Solar energy, as a result of it being readily accessible and abundant in supply, is the sector of choice. This presentation will provide you with an analysis and evaluation of the U.S. solar industry external environment, 4 plausible futuristic scenarios, and the justification of one scenario that is most persuasive and crucial for the future of the solar industry. The critical drivers in the solar industry were identified and analyzed using the pistol and the Porter's 5 forces, which displayed the trends within the industry. Then the major trends were chosen based on recurrence in multiple Porter's 5 forces, as well as the impact of multiple microenvironmental factors, mainly politics, economics, technology, and environment. The critical uncertainties were then plotted on a graph based on the impact of the uncertainty in the industry, as well as the probability of it taking place. Those that had both high impact and high probability were then grouped and labeled as the major critical drivers of the industry. These critical drivers are identified as geographical impact, the differentiation of products, the practice of new innovations, and government incentives. 2 dimensions were chosen from the key drivers based on their high influence and prospect using Porter's 5 forces. The dimensions were paired on an impact and probability grid. They showed the effect of innovation and government incentive. The dimensions were chosen because of the current trend of solar being encapsulated with technology and government influence. It was then used to develop the 4 scenarios describing the best and worst outcomes of the future of the industry. The names of each scenario were influenced by movie titles that signify the plausible futuristic developments of the solar industry. The 4 scenarios were named Scenario 1, Naked and Afraid, Scenario 2, Empire of the Sun, Scenario 3, Lost World, and Scenario 4, Gridlocked. Scenario 1, Naked and Afraid, was designed based on the industry having lack of technology, but yet still having government incentive. The challenges to survive are extremely high, having to compete with other renewables such as fossil fuel and conventional electricity. Investment tax credits from the government remains available. Slow economic growth from lack of technology was identified. The industry was also unable to create new innovative products from suppliers. The implication of this was there was little room for economic growth, and the actions that were recommended was that the industry create new products, be innovative, and also to increase their production. Scenario 2, Empire of the Sun. This one was designed based on the sector having new technology and also having government incentive. Both private and public sectors are being utilized to increase profits and allocate for new innovations. High investment in industry and implementation of investment tax credits by government. Both buyers and sellers have significant knowledge of the industry, and there is also an increase in aggregation demand. This future industry has high strategic plans. The implications for this industry is high economic growth, maximum efficiency of production and innovation, better alternative to substitutes. The actions to be taken is to follow market trends, increase global impact, achieve net zero emissions by 2035. Lost World Scenario 3. This industry lacks technology and has no incentives from the government. They struggle to survive, high competition against giants within the industry. Lack of knowledge of the industry leads to being lost and unable to decide what marketing segment to choose. The implications for this industry is that substitutes are better alternatives, low economic growth, low investment opportunities with shareholders, industry may shut down or turn completely public. The actions to be taken is the encouragement of external factors such as angel investors or loan sharks, form partnership within the industry, promote solar energy as a natural combatant for global warming as a means to seem better than non-renewable substitutes. Scenario 4, gridlocked. This sector does not receive any government incentives, but has new technology. The theme is rules are rules. Competitors in this industry must be able to understand where and when to innovate. There's little government assistance as industry is a private entity, no investment tax credits, high dependency on shareholders and investors which control buying and selling power. There is strong rivalry in this industry. The implications is to increase price and decrease in demand. The actions to be taken is in innovation, development of new products, and also to encourage more investment. There's a need for research and development, increase in government intervention to prevent chances of losses or break-even points. Scenario 2, Empire of the Sun, was chosen as the scenario of choice. This was because it paints plausible pictures of the future of solar achieving net zero emissions while obtaining high economic growth. There is high government support in areas of investment and federal investment tax credits. With high investments from stakeholders, the sector is able to compete with other industries, both renewable and non-renewable, on the stock market. As a result of corporate companies such as Amazon, Apple, and Tesla, they have attracted more investors, thus increasing the market scale and profitability of the sector. In the future, there is no threat of substitutes because the price of solar is low and it will have established its position in the global economy. The demand of buyers is high, but they do not pose a threat due to customer loyalty. Because solar panels are usually a one-time purchase, every aspect of the sector is affected by the new development in technology. As the sector continues to grow, the threat of suppliers will be low. A lot of new jobs are created throughout the various segments. The environment is safe from carbon emission as companies work towards decreasing their carbon footprint. This chosen scenario will help you make better decisions for tomorrow's clean, reliable, efficient, and low-cost energy.